I'm back. Let's get started. You know the drill. Mic check one, two.
This is where truth lives. No filters, no lies.
Welcome to Freedom Uncensored.
What's happening, everybody? Thought I'd come on and do a little recorded show quick. Um, Before I go into today's subject, I just want to bring up something from last night. Um, so I do the podcast here, and then I have some friends that help me do posts and stuff like that on Facebook. And we were attacked last night by somebody that wanted to call us a pedophile lover, and all that stuff. I had to call my attorney. Uh, he sent me a cease and desist template, basically, that he uses. I ended up filling it out, and I served the person with a cease and desist. Um, when you're saying stuff on the internet about people that is absolutely not true, that can cause harm, you can be held accountable for that. It's defamation. So when you're calling somebody a pedophile, calling them a pedophile lover, um, because they support a politician, um, and they ask you to stop, especially once you receive a cease and desist letter. A cease and desist letter itself doesn't really carry a whole lot of legal weight, but once you go to court and the judge sees that you sent a cease and desist letter and you tried getting it all to stop prior to actually, filing a lawsuit, um, 99.2% of the times the judge finds in favor of the business that sent the cease and desist letter. It can get real ugly real fast. And one thing that we will absolutely do here is we will follow through with the full extent of the law if we must in every situation that we come across that's like that. I've said on this show before and on the other show that I've had, um, I think Donald Trump's an asshole. I really don't care for the guy. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Obama. I was a Democrat. Now I'm a constitutionalist. Um, because I think they're all assholes. In a way, Obama and Clinton voted for them because they were going to deport all these illegals. They were going to clean up the swamp in Washington and do this and do that, and they never did it. Voted for Donald Trump because he said he was going to deport all these people. He's going to clean up Washington, and the man tries it, and then the entire world decides that they're going to try to attack him. At least he's got the balls to do what he said he was going to do. He's the only one. Reagan tried it. He didn't get real far. JFK tried it. He got assassinated over it. We don't appreciate somebody making false claims against our company or us online in a public forum in a way and in an attempt to hurt our business. Um, it didn't even need to get that far, but we had to send a cease and desist letter, and hopefully that ends the situation. And if not, then we'll go further. Um, we'll make that decision on Friday with our meeting with the attorney. Um, Now to get that out of here, out of the way, gone. See you. Bye. Bye bye. Um, we want to get into the topic of deportation and everything that's going on right now. So, most people voted for Donald Trump to clean up the immigration issue, which he got the border closed, and now he's deporting people. It's what he was voted for. It's what I voted for him for. clean this mess up. Before I go much further, I want to say this. If you're in support of keeping illegal immigrants here in the United States and also the illegal criminal element here in the United States, if you're defending them with sanctuary cities and stuff like that, you're kind of in support of slave laborers. You're in support of willingly violating United States law. It's not just Donald Trump that is strong on deportation and immigration. Now, I want to play this clip from Obama while he was president. Should happen here.
I want to say more about this third issue because it generates the most passion and controversy. Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security.
Trump has said almost the exact same thing. Deportations went through the roof during Obama. Here's Bill Clinton. Let's get this pulled up.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
Nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. We've said that a bunch on this show. There's a ton of times that we've said that on this show. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are a nation of laws. If you want to come here legally. The legal way. The legal way. Crossing the border is illegal. Your first act in this country is violating a law. A lot of illegal immigrants that come into the United States turn around and violate another law by assuming a dead person's social security number so that they can get legitimate work in the United States. Yes, they're paying taxes. But stealing somebody's identity is a federal crime. It's also a felony. Too many people out here right now are sitting there going, it's okay. It's okay. They've got good intentions. They got good intentions. How many people say that murdered somebody? They had good intentions. How about the people that abused their kids or have killed their kids or sexually molested? I mean, how many of them people turn around and go, we had good intentions. We had good intentions. We're a nation of immigrants, but we are a nation of laws. And In order for you to be in the United States, you need to adhere and abide by those laws. Same way with these protesters that are getting hammered and beat down and everything else. There's laws around protesting. Peaceful protesting is assembling on the side of the road, on a sidewalk, grassy area, whatever you want to do, and peacefully protesting. You can scream, hold signs, whatever. The second you block the road, or the second you violate somebody else's rights while you're protesting, it becomes a non-peaceful protest. The second that happens, it becomes against the law. Now, I like watching the Pierce Morgan show, so I want to bring up Pierce Morgan here because he had a show on here recently where they were talking about the difference between Obama and Donald Trump. Everybody's throwing a fit about Donald Trump with immigration and everything else. Obama's praised. Donald Trump is just beaten to the ground. So let me play this clip real quick.
Factor in Trump winning in 2016 because we'd had a black president. How did Obama get re-elected in the first place? I mean, the guy won 2 terms, right? Which is not an illustration of a racist America turning on a black president. I would argue that after 8 years of Obama, he did a lot of things which actually were very contrary to his nice, happy, clappy, Mr. Nice Guy image. He deported over 3 million people, right? Which is a record, by the way, even including Donald Trump in both of his terms, including the second one so far, pro rata, by far the biggest deporter in the history of the United States of immigrants. He dropped more bombs in a calendar year outside of World War II than any American president in history. He campaigned in 08-09 on closing Guantanamo Bay. It's still open, and he's a lawyer who believed it was an illegal torture chamber, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, he can.
There's nothing more that I can say to that whole subject than what Pierce just said, because I mean it sums it up. If you're a Democrat and you support Obama and you praise Obama and you want to say all of these fantastic things about Obama, I mean, he dropped more bombs than any other president since World War II. Killed American citizens with a drone strike. 56 people died during deportations under Obama. I voted for him. And here we are with Donald Trump. And his record ain't near that of Obama's. But everybody puts him down and goes off on him, and oh my God, he's anti-American and he's Nazi and all that stupid rhetoric. It makes no sense. Here's Obama during another interview. Just recently. This was just recently. In fact, I think I'm just going to put it on this screen right here. Right here up in the top.
Clinton, the Munich Security Conference, because they're basically singing from the same song sheet. Let's take a look at these 2 clips.
But what is also true is that we're a nation of laws, we have borders, and we've got to figure out an immigration policy that is orderly and that is fair and is enforced in a sensible way that is compatible with our values, but may not fully capture the degree to which that kid should have the same chances in life as a U.S. citizen kid.
I want to stop it there for a minute because here's one major difference between Bill Clinton's presidency Obama's presidency and now Trump. We've got sanctuary cities now. Sanctuary cities have kicked ICE out of the prisons. They've kicked them out of the police departments. They've kicked them out of everywhere. How do you think Obama deported as many people as he did without having ICE in the streets? Because ICE was in every single prison, federal, state, local, and they had offices in most state police barracks across the country. As soon as an illegal alien was arrested, they were handed to ICE and they were deported. Now you have this push, don't cooperate with Trump. Why? Because you don't like him. He's trying to enforce law, but you don't like him. So you don't want anybody to work with him, which is just stupid, because now you're putting ICE in the streets. You're creating your own chaos. This man right here deported more people than any other president in history. And he did so by utilizing the prison system and the police departments to gather all these illegal aliens up and ship them out. Let's continue on with this.
But, you know, we've got to accommodate the reality that the majority of the American people think that there's a difference between somebody who's a U.S. citizen and somebody who's not, and that they want an orderly immigration system. And sometimes I think what happens in the online debate is if somebody suggests, well, we have to have some immigration enforcement, then somebody's going to point at that child and say, so you don't care about that kid, so you must be a bad person.
Migration has been a huge flashpoint. More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps.
Now, she's got something right there. More people were deported under Clinton and Obama than under Trump. Then she says without killing. 56 people died under Obama during deportations. We've got, what, 5 under Trump right now? So, I mean, yeah, Trump has a better record there. Then she goes in to say about putting children in cages or detention centers. Sorry, Hillary. Obama built cages to house kids when they were arrested with their parents. That was all over the news. That's truth. You can't get away from that. That's facts. Let's continue on.
Camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term.
Secretary
There is a
Clinton.
legitimate reason to have a debate about things like migration. It went too far. It's been disruptive and destabilizing, and it needs to be fixed in a humane way with secure borders that don't torture and kill people.
Got to unmute myself, damn it. She's right. It needs to happen in a humane way. This bullshit of ICE being out on the streets, I'm not down with that. I understand why it happened and why it had to happen, because the sanctuary cities don't want to cooperate with the federal government. They're going to get these illegal aliens one way or another. It would be smarter and more humane for these sanctuary cities to end their policies allow ICE in the state police barracks like they used to be, and allow ICE to have an office in every single prison like they used to have, and handle all this stuff behind the scenes like it used to be under every single president that has ever been in charge of this country. But because you on the left dislike Trump so much, your hatred for one man is putting other people in jeopardy. That's the bottom line. That's what's happening. Your Trump derangement syndrome, your hatred for one man, is putting millions of people at risk. Local governments need to end their sanctuary city policies. They need to adhere to federal law, and they need to put ICE back into prisons and the police departments to get these illegal criminals out of here. Or you're going to have more agents in the streets. It's just going to happen. And it's going on everywhere, even here in my hometown. It's unbelievable. Right here in my hometown, our borough manager has made the decision to cancel a contract that our local police department has with ICE. Well, she canceled that contract stating that our police doesn't have the manpower to be able to actually enforce anything or to help ICE out or anything like that. Well, Miss Borough Manager, I hate to tell you, but our police department can still work with ICE, even though they're a small police department. If they pick up an illegal alien who's committed a crime and they don't turn them over to ICE because you wanted to end this policy, and that illegal alien murders, rapes, or robs somebody, it's on you. It is on you, Madam Borough Manager. As residents, we get that the police department is small and sometimes overwhelmed. But they should have the freedom and they should have the power to be able to call ICE if they pick up an illegal alien that's committed a crime. Our borough is not a sanctuary borough. It's not a sanctuary city. Most of the residents in this borough don't want the criminal element on the street. So to tie the hands of our local police department because you lean left and don't give a shit about your constituents in this town, you made the decision to end a contract for the police department to be able to work with ICE. It's going to come back to bite you in the ass come election time, lady. Most of the residents of this town are highly pissed off at this move, and rightly so. You just jeopardized everybody in this town. And for what? Your hatred for one man, Donald Trump. Come election time, there's going to be a movement to have you removed. And here on this show, we will probably be a very, very, very loud voice for that. It sucks when these cities care more about criminal rights. I shouldn't even say criminal rights. They care more about criminals than they care about the people in the community. How the hell did we get to this part of all of this in this country? I just, it blows my mind. I'm 50 years old. Every president that I've ever remembered deported and had laws and tried to fix immigration to help people come here, legally. And people still butt in line, jump the border, come here illegally, work for slave labor. Businesses still hire them even though they're not supposed to be. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse because everybody hates Trump so bad that screw everybody else. We want to protect the criminal. It's unbelievable. We do got to fix the immigration laws. And we need to set a clear standard for the deportation process. If you actually read the laws on deportation are one of the only laws that we have on the books that gives the crime and the punishment all in the same law. It's one of the only laws, but you can read through the Constitution, you can read through all the laws of our land. It is one of the only federal laws that we have that gives the actual crime and the punishment. That law literally states that if you are in the country illegally, you will be deported. You will receive a ban of not more than 8 years for returning to the United States and over $2,500 in fines. If you return a second time after you've already been deported, it's now a felony. Now it carries 3 years in prison, a permanent ban from returning to the United States, and over $10,000 in fines. It's one of the only laws that we have on the books that gives the crime and the punishment. It's time we start enforcing that. It's time we start pushing that. It's time we pass a law that allows for people that are here illegally and illegal criminals. It's time we pass a law that we can swoosh them right out the door without putting all of them in front of a judge. It needs to happen. Obama did it. Clinton did it. Other presidents did it. Now it becomes an issue because one man who happens to be the most hated man in the world becomes president. Can't keep going like this, people. We're not going to have a country left. I'm done with my rant for the day. See you soon.